if you are in a point in your life where you're feeling lost, if you are at a point in your life where you're feeling like you are disconnected from your purpose, you don't know your purpose, you can't even answer that question when I say, who are you? You can't answer that question. Who are you really? Not just your facade of the outside, but who are you really? If you can't answer that question, you may be either headed down towards that path or at that path. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mystic Temple Spirituality for a New Age. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother, and I am here to bring you truth. Okay, so for today's Divinity session, we have an amazing, yet another amazing passage from the Book of Rashida, and we are going to jump right in today. So here's the next passage from the Book of Rashida, and it is as follows. What is it that paves us? To be true to ourselves is not the kind of philosophy we embolden. Trickery brings us to the past and leaves us dry. Gone are the days where this kind of power reigns. A new day dawns, and we will bring back that which has been stolen from us, from our spirits. It is time to become what is old and new, what always was, but what was hidden. Let the light shine upon it now for all to finally see, but truly see. See, not vaguely looking with superficial sight. Really see, peering through to see the truth that lies underneath. You must look to see. So, as always, this is layered and layered with meaning. So, we're going to break it all down. So, first of all, when the passage says, what is it that paves us? They're posing a question. And what they're asking really is, what is it that defines us? What paves our path? What lays the foundation of who we really are? And who are we? Are we talking about who are we spiritually? We know we're a divine being. Or are we talking about who are we in this lifetime, identity wise? We're talking about all of that. This passage is really bringing everything together, talking about the divine version of you as well as the physical identity, individual person of you in this lifetime, in this world, in this physical plane. And who are you really? Because a lot of times we think that we are one person. We may categorize ourselves with certain labels. And that's not actually who we are. That doesn't really encompass us. We let other people label us. We let other people tell us who we are. And then we take that on and embody that image. And also the energy with which we think of ourselves, right? When we're thinking of ourselves, and we may think of ourselves in certain categories because that may be who we want to be or who we think we want to be because it feeds our ego or whatever that is. And that's not authentic. So this entire passage is about authenticity. This entire passage is about authenticity, but much deeper than just the surface level of that authenticity. And the second sentence of this passage says, to be true to ourselves is not the kind of philosophy that we embolden. So I want to break that down because it sounds pretty clear, but I also want to highlight the word embolden. So what they're talking about here, you think about the word embolden. What are we giving life to? What are we highlighting? What are we raising above? What are we allowing to elevate in our society and in the world that we live in, the world that we are co-creating and the world that has already been created for us, right? Being of yourself, being true to yourself is not something that's highlighted, that's uplifted, but instead it's conformity that is uplifted. And we want to get away from that, because who is your authentic self? We're not the same. None of us are the same, nor are we supposed to be. We are not supposed to fit into categories and boxes that are identical to one another. Okay, we can have similarities between ourselves. Of course, we're going to have that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But who are you really? What is your authentic self? And what is that authentic self expression that you're giving to the world? And what we're talking about here is your authentic self at your core, okay? At your very, very core. So deeper than just those surface level identification factors that you may have of who you are. And the importance of this and why this is in this passage is because this is very important to your spiritual growth. Your full self expression is the ability for you to express all of your gifts, for you to express everything that you've come into this world with. Because true self expression is a complete full expression of your authentic self, of your spirit, of all the gifts that you came into this world with, a full expression of that. To hold any of that back is to suppress yourself, is to suppress your spirit, and to suppress your journey and slow down your journey on your life path. And many have strayed away from their path because of this lack of self expression, this desire to conform, this desire to fit into a box and not just exude your full self, your desire to want to please other people. All of you people pleasers out there, cut it out. We're gonna need all of you, okay, to start really, really expressing yourself. And we're gonna talk more about that as we get deeper into this passage. And then the next sentence says, trickery leads us to the past and then leaves us dry. What it's talking about is the false senses of superficial success that we have, all the superficial things that we're taught to believe in, all the superficial things that we're taught to focus on as if it's really, really important in life. And we've talked about this in many divinity sessions before, about focusing on what's actually important and detaching from the things that are not. For instance, material success. Like I've said in the past, I love material things. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with having material things. There's nothing wrong with having success. It's the attachment to those things that's a problem. Okay, it's not the thing itself that's a problem. It's the attachment to those things that's the problem. It's the attachment of the and putting all of this up on this pedestal as if it's the be all end all of life and of your whole entire existence and your whole entire world. And that's just not the case. Okay, it's not the case at all. It could be a piece of your life if that's your path, if that's what you want to have in your life, then that's perfectly fine. But when we hold it up on this pedestal and we're willing to do anything for it, and we're willing to shed our true selves for it, we're willing to cover ourselves for it, we're willing to go against our true nature for that thing. That's when that's a problem. That's a problem. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in right now, that's the way it is. That's what most people focus on, and they put their entire life. They're willing to risk their health, their mental health, their emotional well-being, their spiritual well-being, everything for those things. And it's not just about that. This passage is not just talking about those types of superficial things, but also other types of superficial things, false expectations that you have placed on yourself that you and that you've allowed other people to place on you. All of those things lead you to a path. So you're going down, we're walking, you're going down a path, right? With these things as important, right? And then you get to a path. That path is when you realize these things didn't actually bring you happiness. These things didn't bring you joy. They didn't actually create fulfillment in your life. Okay? When you get to that path, it leaves you dry. That's what this passage is saying, leaves you dry. So you thought that all of these things were going to give you what you need. When I have this, then I'll be this. When I have this, then I'll be happy. When I have this, then I'll be everyone will love me. When I have this, XYZ. So when you put those types of correlations and you make those attachments, they're incorrect attachments and they're incorrect presumptions of what you're actually going to experience in this human experience with those things, because they do not bring you happiness. They do not bring all of the things that we want to place on them in our minds. And when we get there, because we have really lost ourselves in the process of going down that path, chasing these things, because of the loss of self, because of the suppression of self, now we are dry. We need some water. We need life. Okay, we are left dry. And in that moment when you are left dry, you are at that pass and you are left dry. In that moment, you're realizing, wow, my life is not what I thought it was going to be. Now I have to go back to the drawing board. Now I'm lost. Now I have to figure out how to get back to who I am. I don't even know who I am. I can't even tell you how many times as a healer and a life coach and all the different things I am, I've had so many people come to me and talk to me about not knowing who they are because they've gone down different paths that don't lead them to what they thought it was going to lead them to, because they're focused on the wrong things. They're getting distracted with what society and what their ego and what everyone else tells them is important in life, and they have completely misunderstood the whole entire picture. They've completely missed the point. And so they've gone down this path, they're at this path, they're dry, and they're saying, who am I? What am I doing? I feel lost. How do I become happy? I'm miserable. Life is not what I thought it was going to be. I'm completely unfulfilled. I'm not connected to my life purpose at all, and so on and so forth. And this is a very, very common thing that so many people deal with. And this is why this is so important enough to be in the book of Rashida right now, because this is a passage that is bringing that to your attention. If you are in a point in your life where you're feeling lost, if you are at a point in your life where you're feeling like you are disconnected from your purpose, you don't know your purpose, you can't even answer that question when I say, who are you? You can't answer that question. Who are you really? Not just your facade of the outside, but who are you really? If you can't answer that question, you may be either headed down towards that path or at that path. And many people are. And so if you are, pay attention to the session, pay attention to this passage, and start taking action. So to be clear, the true self that this passage is referring to is your timeless, authentic self. Timeless meaning your soul, right? Your divinity inside of you, that is part of your authentic self. But also, what is part of your authentic self is your personality, your life purpose, all the things inside that make you truly you, your gifts, your talents, your expressions, your desires. Okay, all of whatever you have inside to give, because we all have something to give to the world. We all have something to give to the world. I just got chills on that. We all have something to give to the world. What do you have to give to the world? And are you giving it? Because everyone is waiting for you. But there's good news, because in this passage it says a new day is dawning. A new day is dawning. This is where we are right now, in the dawn of a new day. And now is the time for you to step up and actually start making these changes in your life and actually start living according to yourself. Again, Mystic Temple is about you. So we're always bringing it back to you. No matter where we're going, it comes back to you. Okay? What's inside of you? What's inside of you that needs to come out? What's inside of you that you've been suppressing? Allow. All you have to do is allow. It's easier said than done. I understand that. But all you have to do is allow. Allow yourself to be who you are meant to be. Allow yourself to be and do what you're meant to do here, and not get caught up in all of the negativity, not get caught up in all the fear, not get caught up in the societal standards, in conformity and being normal. Okay, we don't want to be normal. All right, I'm going to give you a statistic. I may have said this before, but I'm going to give you a statistic. I think the percentage is 80%. 80% of the people in the world are unhappy. That's normal. You don't want to be normal, okay? You don't want to be normal. You want to be abnormal, because abnormal is unique and that is who you are, okay? We don't want to be normal. Normal is conformity. We want to stay away from conformity. We want to think for ourselves. We want to dive deep within and find our true authentic selves, but also the inner truth that lies within us. That's what we want. And the beautiful thing about this passage saying a new day is dawning, it's really pointing out the fact that we are in this new day right now. And this is, again, why the book of Rashida has come out, why Mystic Temple is here, why I am here, while you are all here, and why you other light workers out there who also feel called to help uplift humanity are here. We're all in this together, okay? This is why we're here right now, because a new day is dawning. And I'm getting so many chills right now and messages as I'm speaking. Cosmic collective consciousness is going wild. All right, so my point is that we all are here for a reason right now in this moment. A new day is dawning, and we are here to usher in that new day. And so when you step up to the plate, you become a part of this entire movement. You become a part of this entire revolution. A revolution is not done with one person, it's done with many. Okay? And this is a major, major, very, very important revolution to the juncture of the time that we're in. So this passage is really a prophecy telling us what's coming next and what we need to prepare for and what we need to step up to be a part of. Do you want to sit on the sidelines, or do you want to be a part of this movement? Because those on the sidelines are not really going to be going with the movement. Those on the sidelines are going to end up getting buried, okay? Those who are part of the movement will be elevated, okay? Remember, the book of Rashida states that those with open channels, those who hear with open channels will be saved, right? And then also many, many points within the book of Rashida, it talks about the need for your action. Spiritual evolution and raising this vibration of this planet is not a passive thing, it is an active thing. Helping you change your life, helping you become happier and more fulfilled in your life and on your purpose is not a passive thing, it is an active thing. This requires your participation, it requires your activity, it requires your introspection. And so this is something that is super, super important. So you need to actually take heed to what this is saying and start making action if you haven't already. And if you are already taking action, which hopefully many of you are because you've been watching Mystic Temple for a while, if you are already taking action, step deeper into that action. How else can you go? Sometimes we have to take baby steps, as we're going into things. That's okay. Sometimes you need to take baby steps, especially as you're coming out as your authentic self. You have to take baby steps sometimes because it's a comfortability thing. I get that. But let's go deeper. Let's step out more. Let's stop hiding ourselves. Let's stop hiding who we really are. Stop hiding your spirituality, your true spiritual beliefs, just because you may be around some other people who hold a different belief. The beautiful thing about the human experience is we all can have different opinions. We don't have to all believe the same thing. It's okay. Okay? So it's okay to come out because at the point where you really start expressing your true authentic self, your timeless authentic self, this is the point when your tribe will be attracted to you. This is the point when you will begin pulling in all the soul contracts that you are here to pull in, all the soul contracts that you're here to meet and match and actually work together. Those will start to come. But until you step out and become your authentic self and show the world who you really are, those contracts are delayed, which means your purpose is delayed. And speaking of timeless, when it says it is time to become what is old and new, what does that mean? So, what is old, it's time for us to become what is old and what is new. So, what is old is what we're, all of the knowledge and truth that we are bringing back. Remember, I'm always saying we are bringing back the truth. This is not new truth. This isn't new truth. We're not giving you information that has never been given before. This information has been given for thousands and thousands of years. The problem is, just like the first passage of the book of Rashida says, it comes through someone, it's given to the world. They're like, "Yay, this is great." And then humans start to mess with it and they start to bastardize it. They start to twist it and turn it, and then it becomes something else. Then they have to send someone else and give it again. So this is not new information. It's being given in a new way to modern society, but this is ancient knowledge that is being given here in the book of Rashida. This is ancient knowledge. So it is time to become what is old and new. Old is your timeless soul. New is your soul in this incarnation. So it is time to really start to merge the two, your ancient wisdom, your ancient, timeless, universal, expansive, divine self into what's new, into this new world, into this new body that you're in, into this new society that we're about to build. So, this is what becoming what's old and new is about, coming back to yourself, but a new version of that. This is a new emanation of that. And also, you yourself are not new. Why? Because in one of the divinity sessions, we talked about reincarnation. Your soul passes from lifetime to lifetime. You yourself are not new. You are old. You are ancient. Okay? And it's time to become that true self of who you are. And guess what? That ancient version of you carries all the wisdom of the entire cosmos. All the wisdom of the entire universe is within you. Each and every one of you contains all of the information ever to exist. What exists now, what exists in the past, what will exist in the future. Because as we know, time is not linear. Okay? So everything is inside of you. So this is why we are recalling the old and bringing in the new. And when you are looking into who you actually are, answering that question, your authentic self, your true authentic self, and every expression of that authentic self, this passage is asking you to really look deeper and see beyond the superficial layers, to really see who you are, asking a lot of questions. And there are many, many ways to do this, and we're going to get into that right now. One of the ways is inner reflection and daily journaling. Asking yourself, what do I truly need right now? But not asking that from your conscious mind, asking that from deeper within. And this is why I'm always telling you guys about meditation. Okay. If you have been meditating, like I've been telling you a million times, if you have been meditating regularly, that should come very easy to you. Okay. This is why you want to be prepared for these things, because when you meditate, you can easily go within. If you meditate often, you can easily go within because it's a muscle that's exercised. Okay. If you haven't been meditating, and if maybe you're just jumping in right now for the first time, then you have to start meditating. But you want to go within and simply bring your awareness internally, and you can bring it to any point of your body, okay, wherever you're brought to, and just focus internally and ask that question and pay attention. Have an awareness of observation. Pay attention to what happens inside of your body when you ask that question. What feelings, what thoughts come to mind? What energies are produced when you get that? And if you're really paying attention and you practice this often, you will start to get those answers immediately, and you will start to fully understand what all of that means, what that answer is, what do you need right now? What does your spirit need right now? This is a way to make sure that you are being authentic in your life, that you are having a full expression. What do I need in terms of my authenticity right now? What do I need in terms of my full soul expression right now? These are great questions to ask. But again, like I always say, when you get the answer, you have to take action, okay? Because information without action is pointless. I always say that. So you have to take action on it, or else you're just wasting your time. So getting that information and then saying, okay, this is what I need to do, and then start taking steps to do that. But if you start to live according to what your spirit is telling you every day, again, I always tell you guys, your spirit will never lead you wrong. Why? Because what did I just say? Everything is inside of you. All the answers are inside of you. Every single answer to every single question you could possibly ask is inside of you. We can't always access it easily. And this is why, again, I'm giving you guys exercises. I've been giving you guys meditations. We gave you light codes. I've given you so many things, and I will continue to do that. But these things are important because it's not just talking at you and telling you what you need to do, but also showing you the how, because it's not always easy for everyone, and that's okay. But you will get on it. I'll make sure you get on it. Okay, you will get on it. And you will start to feel that, and you will start to actually feel fulfilled, because fulfillment comes from a deeper place. It comes from the soul. Okay, it does not come from here. So take all of those limiting beliefs away. Okay, you can believe you're happy. You can believe you are fulfilled in life. But if you're not fulfilled in here, you won't be fulfilled. And that lack of fulfillment will bubble up as different things, as anxiety, as depression, as anger, as all kinds of things it will manifest itself as. But fulfillment comes from the soul. So that's where you begin. When you want to find out what is actually going to make you fulfilled in this life, and again, fulfillment is not about the superficial things. Fulfillment is really about your soul being happy, because it knows what it came here to do. If you're not doing it, it's not happy, okay? And it also knows what it wants to be. It wants to be expressed. It doesn't want to be caged. If you're caging yourself, if you're caging any part of you, because all of that is part of your soul came here with all of these things, okay? And these things are embedded within your body and within your spirit body. All of these things, okay? It all works together as one unit. So when you are self-suppressing instead of self-expressing, it's caged. And no one wants to be caged. Imagine yourself in a small cage. You wouldn't be very happy. So, and you would start to get a little crazy, right? That's what happens with our energy. And so we want to make sure that we are fully self-expressive. So asking those questions is really important. But the good news is our souls are very resilient, and our souls are very patient with us, way more patient than we as humans would be with them. Okay? So our souls are very patient. However, it's also important. Another thing that you need to do is shadow work. And so again, it starts with tuning in. Starts with tuning in. You tune into yourself and you ask yourself, what areas of your body, what areas of your spirit feel void? Where does it feel like there's an emptiness there? Where do I feel caged? Ask those questions and start to do that shadow work. So those of you hearing the term shadow work for the first time, I'll explain what that means if you're not sure what that means. Shadow work is basically dealing with the dark parts of yourself on the inside. Dark parts of yourself, meaning the parts that have more negative energy, like fear. Um, uh, that's why we call them shadows. So like a whole bunch of things, but all the different traumas and different things inside of you that keep you down, that keep you from fully expressing yourself, that keep you from fully expressing your light, because they dim your light. These shadows dim your light. So it's looking deep inside. And that was just an overly basic description of shadows, because we can go deeper than that. But yes, so you want to look deep inside and look at those shadows and then deal with them. You have to face your inner truths. And we had that in another divinity session from the book of Rashida that talked about facing your inner truth. You have to look in the mirror and you have to see that ugly shadow looking back at you. And then you have to deal with it. Okay. So that then you can look in the mirror and see the beautiful light that you are. That's what we need. And I also want to stress the importance of community. Okay. Because when you have, as you are on this journey right now, it's really important that you have some semblance of a spiritual community. People who can understand you, people who can support you, people who can egg you on and keep you accountable, keep you motivated. And that's what Mystic Temple is all about, is community. And so I'm going to just use this opportunity right now to tell you to go to the Facebook page. I'm sorry, the Facebook group. Go to the Mystic Temple Facebook group. I'll add it here. Go to the Mystic Temple Facebook group, add yourself, join, and make sure you answer. There's only one question. Just answer the question and you'll get in and become a part of this community. Also, I want to remind you guys that we are uh, starting to build local communities in different areas. We have one brewing in one art. Well, we've already started in these areas, but we have one in Tulum. We have one in Puebla, Mexico. So Tulum, Mexico, Puebla, Mexico. We have one in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have one in Detroit, Michigan. We have one in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So if you're in any of those areas, go to mystictemple.org/events, and you can see all of the upcoming events that we have going on. And if you're not in one of those areas, that's okay. We will hopefully be having one in your area soon. And in the meantime, join the Facebook group. You need community, and any other people that you have physically in your environment. Start meeting other people who are like-minded and who are also serious about their journey, because community is very, very important when you are on a journey like this, especially when we're talking about being your authentic self. A lot of times, if we are not around people who share the same views as we do and things like that, it becomes harder. It's not impossible, because I'm telling you to do it anyway. But I understand that the human conundrum of that, because we are wired to conform. We are wired to conform in order to survive. If when you think about it in very basic primal terms, right? But there's also a whole lot of other things going on that we're programmed for in the world to conform. But that is also very primal. So I get that. And so knowing that, this is why you also want to surround yourself with like-minded people. You want to surround yourself with people who are going to help you grow, not who are going to push you down. And again, you need to rise up whether people are pushing you down or not. And that's what this passage is about, is having that desire and strength and self-love enough to allow your soul to be fully expressed. So with that being said, the last thing I want to say for you to do is start to practice truth telling, especially when you're in the face where your voice is being challenged. I want you to practice saying it anyway. Truth telling, not suppressing your voice. We don't need to be rude about things. Okay, let's be clear. Let's still be nice people, but we can truth tell. We can tell our truth. We can speak our truth without worrying about people not agreeing with us. We can speak our truth without worrying about what others are going to think of that truth, because the truth is the truth. Deal with it is what I always like to say. So I want you to practice truth telling. Practice just speaking your truth. Again, especially when that is being challenged, especially when you're being challenged internally of, oh no, there's a bunch of people around me and they just said something and I want to respond to it, but I'm afraid to respond to it. Just do it. And instead of downplaying your spiritual gifts, downplaying who you really are, downplaying your brilliance, okay? Truth tell, because all of you are amazing beings, And so you should never, ever, ever downplay yourself. You should never push yourself down. You should never, ever, ever dim your light. So when you are in the face of a moment where you would normally dim your light to maybe appease others or to hide or whatever it is, then I need you to not do that in that moment. And as you start doing these things little by little, you will start to break those chains. You will start to break the bars on that cage and start to allow yourself to be fully expressed. And let me tell you, it is liberating. Okay? And that is fulfilling. It is liberating. So I want you to start doing that as well, just as you're going on this journey, because again, all of these things are really, really important to start allowing you to really be fully self expressed. And when you are fully self expressed, you are fully on your path. And now, with that being said, I am now going to speak love, life, and empowerment and expansion into all of you at home using the divine language. Okay. Vawe po shapo. Vawe po shapo. Broshaki. Teosha broshaki. Teosha broshaki. Teosha broshaki eshna popo eshna shap. Teosha broshaki. Vawe po shapo. Vawe po shapo. Vawe po shapo. Vawe po shapo. Broshaki. 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 Teosha broshaki. Teosha broshaki. Oxo. 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 Kiokso. 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 Eshna popo eshna sha. Eshna popo eshna sha. Eshna popo eshna sha. And now I will end with a prayer in the divine language, which essentially means peace be unto you. Zor Kumti. And I'll see you next time.
Walking down the street with my head held high. You can try to change me, but don't be surprised. Reflection in the mirror never seems so clear. I am who I am, and I've got no fear. You can throw your shade, but it won't stick. I'ma brush it off with a lightning quick flick. My heart beats wild and my soul is free. Take it or leave it, this is me. I am who I am, deal with it. No more pretending, no counterfeit. Stand tall, walk proud, every little bit. I am who I am, deal with it. People always talking like they know my game, but they ain't walked a mile, they don't know my name. Falling down, rising up, that's the power of mine. Love me or hate me, I'll never be confined. So let the world do what it's gonna do. I'll keep living my life, staying true. You wanna judge, but you just can't see the strength and the fire burning inside of me. I am who I am, deal with it. No more pretending, no counterfeit. Stand tall, walk proud, every little bit. I am who I am, deal with it. People argue what it's gonna do. I'll keep living my life, staying true. You wanna judge, but you just can't see